Welcome back to 10 Baby Steps to Google Classroom. This is Module 4, our second session together. It's June 25th, and right now we have 21 participants, actually 22 participants. And we're going to go ahead and get started. So if you haven't already, you would want to make sure that you're in our Google Classroom by going to classroom.google.com. Make sure you use your personal Gmail and then click the plus sign in the top right. There's the class code N22MYS7. And the first things you want to do is make sure that you sign in 2 times, find the slides, and if you are on Twitter, you can tweet at hashtag 10babysteps. And today is day 2. We only made it through just getting started and working out some kinks last Tuesday, and we did steps 1 through 3. Today we're going to do steps 4 through 7, and then next Tuesday, June 30th, we will finish up with steps 8 through 10. And those of you who gave feedback, thank you so much. I pulled some ideas that I saw from your from the evaluation, and some of you said to continue keeping it slow. So we're just gonna go nice and slow, guys. We're just gonna keep it super slow, and then give everyone a heads up about personal Gmail. So I guess maybe this course description needs to include, have a personal Gmail account ready to go. And then someone suggested I explain the difference between the stream and classwork, which I think is a great idea. So I want to do that right now. And thank you for checking in on the chat, Patricia, Kent, Kara, and Cynthia. Oh, I'm checking out what you guys are doing over the weekend. Eagle Lake, that sounds wonderful. And then Kent's not going to contract COVID-19. Kent, I feel like that's the best plan. Oh, and Kara's going to paint her house. Industrious. And then I'm checking out Cynthia. Kayaks to the lake. You can social distance in a kayak on a lake. True story. Play softball tournament with friends. Nice. Can't sign into the Google site. Oh no. Let me see if I can fix that right now. And also, you guys, I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and then I'm going to reshare my screen so you can see everything that I'm looking at. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to grab some important links and drop them into our chat just so you guys have access to them. So you're going to want to click on the sign in, and then I'm also going to get sign in sheet. Okay, I've just dropped those in. And let's see, I'm just checking out what everyone's doing. Barbecuing, nice. Shopping for her daughter's 14th birthday, very cool. Getting to the lake. Man, you guys live by lakes, good for you. Awesome. Okay, so let me jump into our Google Classroom. And here, when you first enter our Google Classroom for this course, notice how it says stream on the top. It's highlighted, it's underlined. And the stream, the purpose of the stream is to post announcements, sometimes assignments, but the new posts go to the top, pushing the old ones down. So like our newest post is from Melissa, who said she finally made it. And the stream keeps on a-flowing. So new posts at the top, pushing the old ones down. And when you click share something with your class, this is an announcement. So that's how you create an announcement, by just clicking on that square and doing that. And we are going to be doing that today. I feel like we did that already. Now, the difference between the stream and classwork is that classwork is where students are going to find assignments, quiz assignments, questions, materials, and topics. And I'm going to talk to you about a settings today in one of our steps that will help you decide what you want to show up on your stream. Because right now I only have posts, announcements. So I hope that clarifies the difference between the stream and the classwork. And then some of you were asking for next steps for advanced users, intermediate and advanced. And so my solution for that is check out those little flames for hashtag Hans pro tips. So you're gonna knock out these tasks in like a few seconds. But come back to the slides and check it out. You can also, while you're waiting, just go to Twitter and search for hashtag Hans pro tips, and that will give you some ideas of what to do while you're waiting for everyone else to catch up. And then extra support afterwards. Yes, we will be having our after party. And by the way, for those of you who hung out for our after party on Tuesday, we talked about splitting screens. And I mentioned two tools that I use all the time, which are called tab scissors and tab glue. And basically you move your slides to put two tabs next to each other, click on the tab to the right that you want to go to the right side, this tab will go to the left, and then you just click tab scissors and it splits them so that you can see both screens. So someone was mentioning that that was helpful to have. And then the tab glue, it just undoes that and puts all the tabs back together. So I'm going to click on tab glue. These are both Chrome extensions that are free that you guys can check out. And then evaluation. So some of you are worried about giving me a low score on my evaluation. The only person that sees that is me. So Google doesn't see that. I just use it to get feedback from you guys so that I can make this better. So now today's session will be better because you guys gave me feedback. So thank you. You are the best. We've already talked about how to switch between our full screen and our entering and exiting full screen. And since we've already been over that, I'm going to move forward, and I'm also going to check in on the chat. Awesome. Thank you, BJ. And then Kara, where do you get the tabs? You know what, Kara, when we start our task, I'm going to drop in some links to those extensions, and maybe I'll even add them to the resources on the webpage. And then Nadine made another Google account, but every time she tries to enter Google Classroom, it switches back to her district account. So it could be Nadine. Look up here on my Chrome browser. Do you see how I have two profile pictures? One is for my Google account. The other is for my Chrome account. So if you're signed into a Chromebook with your district account, it could be that it won't let you get to Google Classroom on your personal account. What I have to do is I have to switch Chrome browsers. So like right now I'm on my personal, and I would have to switch over to, my district one, or switch over to my personal. So you may have to open this setting and add another person onto your Chrome browser and sign in with your personal Gmail there. That may solve the problem. So again, my name is Hans Tolman. So happy to be here. And when I say check out Twitter, hashtag 10 baby steps or hashtag whatever, if you go to Twitter and you search for hashtag 10 baby steps and press enter, what you're going to see is, I'm going to click on latest. What you're going to see is all of the posts that anyone has ever posted on that hashtag in chronological order. So it's almost like a website. Also, you'll be able to find hashtag Hans Pro Tips. So if you were to change that to hashtag Hans Pro Tips, then you'll be able to see all of the pro tips that I've been posting on the Twitter. So exciting things. And again, you will find all of this information at our website, which is bit.ly/10babystepsclassroom. And on the website, you will be able to find the home page. This is where you're going to be signing in twice, once here and then once over here. You may have to click this here button to pop out that spreadsheet to make it easier to sign in. And if there's not a check next to your name, make sure you get to this spreadsheet and sign in. You'll also find our slides here, helpful links, and I'm updating our Module 4 video. So if you missed out on Tuesday, you can re-watch it here. And then, of course, the evaluation page is where you help me make this better. And then under resources, I think this is where I'm going to add the tab scissors, tab glue. But I have a document that goes into details. So if you're the type of person who needs to take their time and go into more detail, these are all 10 baby steps with the Hans Pro tips spelled out in detail. And then below that is information on Twitter and Bitmojis. And I'm just checking in the chat. Awesome. Thank you, Clara, or Carla, excuse me. If you get a chance, follow me on the Twitter and I will follow you back. So if you guys are on Twitter, I will follow you back. And there's the document. And again, you guys have been doing great with dropping your questions in the chat. I'm just going to keep pulling that up. There's all of our important links. I'm going to drop those in one more time. Thank you guys for your patience. And of course, we will have our after party at 10:45. And for my advanced users, you want to check out the hashtag Hans Pro tips as we move along. And let's go. We're going to jump ahead. Let's go straight to our classroom objectives. So I believe we only did steps 1, 2, and 3. We posted an announcement in our Google Classroom, and we didn't really get to invite students. I feel like we posted an announcement. Did everyone post an announcement in their Google Classroom? I want to check and see if one landed. Yep, yes we did. Awesome. Well, let's pick up where we left off and go to invite students. And in order to invite students, you would have to be on your district Google account. And as we were creating our personal Gmail account, we had to click that. We understand that we won't be able to add students on our personal one. That's just for practice or for parents if you wanted to host a Google Classroom with them as participants. But the way you invite students on your district Google Classroom is you go to classroom.google.com, click on the class that you want to add students or a group of students to. And at the top of your Google Classroom, you want to click on People. And then you are going to click the plus icon, person icon across from students, and then you enter the students' Gmails, and then click Invite. So I told you the steps. Now I'm going to show you what that looks like. So here I am in my Google Classroom. Thank you, Leslie, Buzzy, BJ, and Kara. Thanks for that feedback. And now I'm going to go up to People. Notice how next to teachers, there's just me. If I wanted to invite more teachers to my Google Classroom, like if we were a grade level classroom, I could do that. But for our purposes, I'm going to click on the student plus sign. Now, since I'm in my personal Gmail account, I won't be able to add any students. I could add parents if I wanted to. But you can't invite people who are in a district. Like if I tried to invite my district self, my district account as a student, at the bottom there's a red thing that a red warning that says can't invite student from this domain because it's protected. because it's a district domain. So now, since we are in summer, none of you have your students for next year, we're going to kind of just glaze over this step and move forward. Step number 5, we are going to customize our classroom in 2 ways. The first way is we're going to customize our theme. The second way is we're going to customize our setting. But let's start with the theme. And notice intermediate advanced people, I have this little flame down here. That's a hashtag Hans Pro Tips. Make sure you read that and move ahead if you already know how to do this. But here's what we're going to do. To customize our theme, we're going to go to classroom.google.com, click on the class that we want, and then at the bottom of the header image, kind of at the top of the page, we're going to click Select Theme. And then we're going to choose an option. Are we going to choose an image from the Google Gallery? Or are we going to choose patterns? Or instead of a theme, we could upload a class photo. So I'm going to model to you how this looks. So I'm in my Google Classroom. I'm going to go back to the stream. And this is the pre-selected theme header image that Google has chosen for my class. Ooh, and there's even a pull-down menu with more information. Cool. I'm going to click Select Theme over on the far right. And then I have a bunch of theme images that I can choose from. Notice how they're different colors. Whatever color of image I choose, that will be the color theme for my classroom. So here's some general images. Here's some English and history images, math and science images, lots of art images, which is cool. Sports images, lots of sports. And then other is other images. So in this case, I'm going to choose, I'm going to go back to arts, and I'm going to choose a band theme for my Mr. Tolman 3rd grade rock star. So I'm going to select that theme. Notice how it changes the image, but it also changes the color of my page. Now, if I decided to upload a photo, I would click on Upload Photo, and I could search my computer and upload that. Oh, someone just asked, can you use a GIF as a heading? Does it have to be a static image? You know what, Mrs. Boussard, let's check that out. I happen to have some GIFs on my computer, so I'm going to click on my computer. I'm going to go into my pictures. Let's look at some GIFs. That's good enough. All right, let's open up that GIF and see what happens. Now, here's the thing about using GIFs, though. Typically, they're lower resolution. Oh, it says the photo you uploaded is too small. Oh, it must be at least 800 pixels by 200 pixels. So we're looking for a we're looking for something that is a long rectangle to fit that theme. So no regular square GIF would work for that. Now, for my intermediate and advanced, if you want to pursue this, you can use this Google Drawing template to create a classroom header image. However, even if you inserted, you would have to figure out how to trim your GIF down to those dimensions. So I feel like I've been talking way too much. I'm going to give you guys some time to get some work done. You have 2 minutes to change the theme on your Google Classroom. Go. All right, so hopefully you had a chance to customize your theme. So the next way we're going to customize our class is we're going to jump into settings, and we're going to make some decisions in our settings. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to go into Google Classroom, and we're going to click on our settings gear in the top right corner. We're going to add a description, including a welcome and the purpose of our Google Classroom. Under general settings, we are going to make some decisions about the class code. We're going to make a decision about the stream. What posting and commenting do we want our students to have? Then we're going to decide about classwork. I'm going to recommend that you hide notifications to classwork on the stream. And if we have a Google, if we're in our district account, we can actually generate a Google Meet link that's the consistent Google Meet link that's always there in Google Classroom, and we'll click Save. Now for my pro tip people, for my advanced users, I want you to add a description to your classroom with parents in mind, especially for my TK through second grade teachers. And then also for the class code, I like to reset the class code until there are no, this should say, let's fix that. I said horizontal lines, but really that's not correct. It should say no vertical lines. So no ones, L's, capital L's, whatever, or there's even another sign, and no circles, because we don't know if it's a lowercase o, uppercase O, a zero, what is that? And I turn on, for me, I turn on students can comment on posts, because that's a 21st century skill to communicate. I hide notifications from classwork, and then I activate the Google Meet and use it within class. It's more secure because only students from your classroom, I believe, can join that Google Meet link. So let me model what I just talked about. So I'm in my Google Classroom and I want to change the settings. I click on this gear in the top right corner, and there's the name of my class. And for the class description, it's going to be similar to my announcement, but maybe I'll give a little more details to the purpose. There's my section, my room number, and my multiple subjects. Under general, notice how my class code, I'm going to use this pull down menu so you can see it. Notice how it has this vertical line, vertical line, vertical line. What are those? Is that a 1 or a lowercase L? I don't want my students to have to muddle through that, so I'm going to click the pull down and reset it until there's no vertical lines and no circles. Now I can copy this, or I could disable it, or I can display it. That'll work. That'll work. For the stream, what permissions do you want your students to have? Do you want them to post and comment? Like I noticed some of you guys were posting, I made it to Google Classroom. Maybe you don't want your students to initiate a post. Maybe you only want them to comment on the post that you post on the stream. Or maybe you don't want any communications. So only teachers can post and comment on the stream. So students wouldn't have a way to communicate. For classwork on the stream, you can show the attachments to assignments or show condensed notifications on the stream. I decided to just hide notifications. I only want the stream for announcements and communication with the whole class. I don't want a long list of assignments that are going to carry on for the rest of the year and be unorganizable. Under grading, there's that. Now, if you're in your district account, you're also going to see a Google Meet option to switch on the Google Meet link for your class. When you're done editing this, this is one of the few places where you need to click the save button on Google. So save that information. So I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes to customize your settings in Google Classroom. On your marks, get set, and go. And let's pause the recording. All right. And I want to jump into the chat really quick to see if there's any questions. And if you were on Fitbit, you can. So Kara asked a great question. So you can't customize the class code. The answer is no. No, you cannot. It's a random code for security purposes. Great question. All right, guys, we are on to step number 6, and this is by far my favorite step, and it's all about creating topics. Because back in the olden days of Google Classroom, you had your classwork page. It wasn't even called that. It was something else. And you post assignments there, but they were all organized in random order, and it was just horrible. So Google, from teacher feedback, created topics. And topics are categories where you're going to organize the content, the assignments in your classroom. And what you're going to do is you're going to go to classroom.google.com, click the class, select the classwork at the top. And then at the top of classwork, you're going to look for that colored button that says create. And then you're going to go down to the bottom and choose topic, type the topic name, and then click add. Now, to give you some tips on topics, I used to create topics for like subjects like reading, math, science, whatever. However, over the course of a year, you're going to have so many topics under that subject. The kids are going to have to they're looking and they're trying to figure out, where are we at? What are we doing? So I started with distance learning this year to try to do topics by week. And I put the oldest week on the bottom, the newest week at the top, and that's where I post that week's assignment. So regardless of whether they're reading, math, science, whatever, they go under a week. And I've seen people add the date to that starting week. So the date for Monday of that week. Also, another #Hans pro tip is to add emojis to your topics to make it more visually identifiable. So you can go to a place like emojipedia.org, and what I'll do is I'll just open this up and I'll drop this into the chat so you can check it out when you get a chance. And then you basically search for what you want. I'm going to search for virus and then press enter. And there's a microbe, hospital, soap, mosquito, so on. So you can search for any of those emojis that you use when you're texting, highlight that, Control-C copy, and then jump back into, where am I? What am I doing? Oh, I actually have to go. So I'm in my classroom. I go to classwork. I click create. Wait, I'm going to do that again because I feel like I'm going too fast. So I'm in my Google Classroom. At the top next to stream, I'm going to click on classwork. Then I'm going to look for the colored create button. I'm going to go down to the bottom and choose topic. That emoji that I copied, how do I paste that? Control what? Control P is print, but if I do Control V, that's paste. So there's my microbe space week 1 communication. If there's a theme for that week, an overarching theme, that's also helpful. But then I can also put, whatever Monday's date was. I don't even know. I'm just going to put the 12th or the 15th. And then add. So there's my topic. It's just the category. It's almost like a folder in your drive. It's an overarching theme of what assignments will go under there. So I'm going to give you guys a chance to create 2 to 3 topics. On your marks. Nice. Kent got it. Yes. Control V to paste. Well done, my friend. All right. 2 minutes and go. And I'm going to pause. All right. So it's been about 2 minutes. I'm going to stop the timer to avoid the annoying buzz. Guys, we just completed step 6 and we are moving on to step 7. Now we are gonna hang out here on step 7. We have about 9 minutes left for this session, but this is gonna take us into this will take us some time because this is the meat of what Google Classroom is all about. It's all about creating assignments, questions, and class materials. An assignment is something that needs to be turned in. Okay, and it can also be graded. It can be a simple task. It can be an ongoing project. It can be something that some type of evidence that the student submits with their work. A question is either a multiple choice question or a short answer on Google. And then materials is a post that goes under classwork, but it's like a class resource or material that the students need to access all year long. So it's not just going to be for week 1. You're going to want, the syllabus or, the whatever district resource they need to have access to all the time. So we're going to start by creating an assignment. And the way that we do that is we're going to go to classroom.google.com, select our class, click classwork. At the top, we're going to click that same create button we used for the topic. But this time, we're going to select assignment. Let's start with assignment. We're going to title it. We're going to add instructions. And then we're not going to add or create resources yet. We're going to take this baby steps, okay? Now, for my hashtag Hans pro tip, I'm going to challenge you guys to use a numbering system for your assignments. Number every single assignment. And you can use this numbering system, hashtag 001, hashtag 002, and so on. And when you title your assignments, you want to use a short task-oriented specific instruction. And if you want to take it to the next level, you can even add emojis. And if you look at the bottom of this slide, you can see some example assignment titles. So I'm going to show you what this looks like. And I'm going to start in a new tab. Let's say you get lost. How do you get to Google Classroom? Well, if you've bookmarked it on your bookmark bar, that's the easiest way to get there. But you may also find it in your shortcuts at google.com. Or if you click on your waffle, typically it'll be down there, or you can just type in classroom.google.com. Press enter. Now, when you go to classroom.google.com, you're going to see all of the classrooms that you're either a teacher of or that you're a participant in. If you want to switch classes, you can always click on the 3 pancakes or the 3 horizontal lines in the top left corner. This is our class. This is our classes page. You can also go to calendar. We can look at a to-do list for teaching, and there's all of our classrooms. If you're enrolled like you are in this class, you'll see all of your enrolled classes here where you are a student. Then you'll see your archived classes here if you've been archiving your classes. So anyways, so I go into my practice Google Classroom. Instead of the stream, I'm going to click on classwork at the top. And now I'm ready to create my assignment. I'm going to click the colored create button, and I'm going to select the top option, assignment. Now I'm going to title it, add some instructions. So I'm going to title this is my first assignment, so hashtag 001, check in on Flipgrid. And if I wanted to, I could add an emoji there. If you are a MacBook user and you have a MacBook Pro and you have the little touch bar at the top, I use that all the time for emojis. Under the instructions, I would encourage you to write instructions as if a parent was looking over a student's shoulder trying to help them with this. So you want to have super basic instructions, like I would number them. Like number 1, click on the Flipgrid link. Number 2, sign in with Google. Number 3, click on the green plus sign. feel like I have something like that. Number 4, record a short video answering the prompt questions. Now, later, I'm going to show you how we can add a resource to this assignment. Like we could add a file from our Google Drive. We could add a link to another website like Flipgrid. We could upload a file from our computer and attach it to this assignment. Or we can search for or paste in a link to a YouTube video. Or we could create a Google Doc on the fly, either a Google Doc like Microsoft Word, a Google Slides like PowerPoint, Google Sheet like Excel, Google Drawing like Microsoft Paint, that old thing, or a Google Form, which is like a survey or a quiz. I'm not going to attach anything right now, but I do want you to look over on the right. Over here, you're going to make some decisions about who this is for. Is it just for this one class, or do you have multiple periods or multiple classrooms you want to assign it to? Is this assignment for all of your students, or will you differentiate and only give it to a certain group or a certain individual? Do you want this assignment to be points? Is it going to be 100 points, 10 points, or ungraded? Are you going to have a due date? Distance learning? Maybe not. Under topic, oh, well, there's my topic right there that I created, or I could create another one on the fly, but I'm going to select week 1. Now, I could also create a rubric on the fly, but I'm not going to do that. That's for another training. Now, I have a choice at the top. I can assign this now, or if I use this pull-down menu, if I assign it now, it will show up in their classwork and all students will see it. Or I could schedule it for a future date and time. Or if I'm not done with this assignment, I can save it as a draft, or I could discard this. I'm going to save it as a draft so you guys can see what this looks like. Notice how under week 1, I see my assignment 1 and it's marked as a draft. And it's also grayed out, which means I can see it, but my students can't. So you could actually set up the full week of assignment or the following week's assignment, set them all up in Classroom as drafts. Then when you're ready, you can open each one in sequence or all at once. But if I need to change this, I can click on this. It'll show me my instructions, the due date. I'm going to click edit the assignment. When I'm ready, I will click assign. And it says students will see the assignment in their streams immediately. Now, they should change that to classwork because I've turned off notifications on my stream. You're not going to see any assignments on my stream because I changed that setting. It's only going to be in classwork. So I've just shown you the steps to create an assignment in Google Classroom. I'm going to give you guys 3 minutes to create one assignment. On your marks. We're going to be a little over today because I want to do this. Get set, go. We're going to be 2 minutes over. I'm going to pause. All right. That's our timer. Now, we got through, like, almost got through to step 7, which is awesome. But that's what, so that's all we're going to do today. The next time I'm going to meet with you guys will be next week on Tuesday at 10 a.m. And I'm going to pop in the evaluation. So if there's something I can do to, if there's something I can do to improve before next Tuesday, let me know. Oh, and then there's a question. Once you assign, then the student gets an email notification. Yes, and Tricia is answering that question. Yes, they will get an email notification for each time an assignment is posted in Google Classroom. All right, guys. Well, before you head out, I'm going to stop recording and I'm going to open up my screen. And if you guys are comfortable, if this is a day where you can take a picture, I'm going to take a group shot of us. There's 26 of us, 27 of us. So if you wouldn't mind turning on your camera, and we're just going to take a group picture together, and I'm going to tweet it out because I get to spend my time with you guys, and you're awesome. So thank you. Get ready, because I'm going to take the picture in 3, 2, 1, smile. And then let me go to the next page. 3, 2, 1, smile. Beautiful. You guys look amazing. All right, guys, we will see you next time. I'm going to be hanging out for the next 11 minutes or so, and we will see you next Tuesday. If you want to hang out at the after party, it's going to be off the hook. You're welcome, Colleen. Good hanging out with you. Oh, and then someone commented they can, if they have those notifications turned off, they may have turned them off though. There is a way to turn off notifications for Google Classroom, which can be really handy, especially if you're in a very busy Google Classroom. Yeah. All right. Well, if you guys got to go, we'll see you next time. And the rest of you, we are having our after party right now. It's on.
Can you quickly explain how to add my classroom to my Google site?
Absolutely. So let me do this. I'm gonna stop our recording for today.